Hello, is this thing on? Peace and cosmic love, family. It is your girl, Sister Soul, with two L's. And today I'm giving y'all a full summer recap. And, everything I did in my third quarter, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, a whole full recap of all that went down. Okay. And then I also want to tell y'all how I'm stepping into the fourth quarter with intention. Now, we all know when I say fourth quarter, I mean for the calendar year, because if you know, you know. Anywho, this is a vibe check, a celebration, and a preview all in one. So grab your tea, your journal, or whatever keeps you grounded, and let's flow.
A soul that creative, living a life of art, spreading love in alignment with the stars, sister soul. Cosmic euphoric goddess, sister soul. Cosmic euphoric goddess, we're all stars, finding our way, documenting my journey each and every day, sister soul. Cosmic euphoric goddess, sister soul. Cosmic euphoric goddess.
Okay, let's get into part one, because I have broken this down into three. Okay, part one is reflections of the summer, y'all. I want to talk about the books I read. Let's start off with the books I read, because that played a big part of my third quarter. Okay, I read We Should All Be Billionaires, The Creative Act, Still Like an Artist, Show Your Work, Keep Going, A New Earth, and all of these books were, I'm actually still reading A New Earth, but I'm more than halfway done, so I am going to include it in the third quarter, so I can just give y'all a little wrap up, because I'm a little excited to tell y'all a little about what it's about. And yeah, it's a beautiful book. Stop playing. Anywho, yeah, so all these books were beautiful. And actually, I have in my Notion, y'all, because yeah, I've been consistently using Notion. Your girl really loves Notion. Like, if you're not using Notion, what are you doing? I'm face ass. But anyway, let me go to resource page. And I have a list, a book list actually of all the books I read this third quarter. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give y'all like a little rundown of the themes and everything that I learned and everything that I want to share. And I have been sharing already from what I learned in the books, because they were so enlightening. It's like a lot of the information, at least for me, when I'm reading, it's one of those things where it's just like a lot of aha moments, because these are things that your soul, it's like your soul knows, what resonates. I'm not saying that every book is going to resonate deeply. But for me, I promise you, if I'm reading a book intentionally, I'm going to find things in the book that I'm going to learn. I find ways to learn. Okay. Everything is a learning lesson. And that's my truth. Okay. But um starting with Hiding in Unnatural Happiness. Okay, so Hiding in Unnatural Happiness was a beautiful book, and the essential theme of this book was spiritual. It was very spiritual, and I would like to say it was self-help, because it included a lot of stuff um about awakening, and our truth, living our truth. And it had different scriptures and quotes from different books and different religious practices. So it was a beautiful way to tie into how nobody's really denying God's presence. It's just people are overthinking the true meaning of what these passages and books have been trying to tell us in these beautiful poetic philosophical ways. So I love how it tied together things that we do on a day-to-day that is programmed, and how you can learn to simply just find practices that work for you. And it really went deep, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm a firm believer in allowing people to read books for themselves, so that's all I'm gonna put for that one. And I actually was given that book. We were walking in Little Five Points, and this woman, it was my second time walking past her, and I smiled, and I finally got to speak, because the first time she was talking. So I spoke to her. She was just like, you know what? You seem like someone that would love this book. I could just tell you're the only one that was smiling and yada, yada, yada. And I was like, oh, she was like, you could just send a donation. And I was like, okay, I can do that. And she was like, you know what? I trust you because our lift was coming. She was like, I trust you. And I'm just like, you know what? That's really dope. She didn't know me for more than 2 minutes and she trusted me that I was going to send a donation. And to me, that was really big, and it just goes back to your character and your vibes and energy don't lie, baby. All right, now the next one. So I read all of the Still Like an Artist trilogy. Okay, that was the How to Still Like an Artist, um, Keep Going, Share Your Art. If I'm not mistaken, I said it in the beginning. I'll put it on the screen. Okay. um these, bro, for all the artists out there, I would say this is definitely a book that you may want to read, trilogy that you may want to read, if you haven't already. And it's not saying that you need books for to connect. I just feel like sometimes it's really good to hear and see references and know that we are all different, and reading books lets you see into other people's mind and their way of thinking, because it's just a whole bunch of thoughts and facts they have, and they put it in the book in a beautiful way. So to all the artists out there, I would recommend reading all three of the books. They're not long either. Beautiful, short, straight to the point books. They have like 10. I like to call it the artist. It's kind of like he referenced in his last book, but he has like the 10 commandments of artistry in all the books. It to me, that's how it lined up. But they all flow beautifully. So yeah, it's really deep on getting out of your head and just learning to create with no limits, and realizing that you are you for a reason, and your authenticity, like, it really confirms everything you probably already been hearing. Shine your light, be yourself, be authentic. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't cling on and be so attached to what people say. Be able to take criticism and realize that sometimes the people that is giving you the criticism, well, not sometimes, people that criticize you in the first place are only projecting the things that they will want to do because they're not doing it. You get what I'm saying? And I say that from an artist, because when I'm listening to music and I'm watching performances and I see stylists doing hair and stuff like that, I always find the beauty in everything. Well, it's not hard to find. It finds me. I'm not looking for any mistakes. You get what I'm saying? And even when my mind try to take me there, I bring myself back to the now. I'm more intentional. And I find a way. I find inspiration in everything. So I love that for me. I love that for me. I love that for me. So those three books, definitely dope, dope, dope. Would go ahead and check those out. The Creative Act, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I am going to do a separate video on the Creative Act. I'm going to do a separate video on the Creative Act. But definitely a 10 out of 10, y'all. We Should All Be Billionaires, 10 out of 10. Yeah, like I don't want to tell y'all too much, and I'm not going to lie. The notes I took is like quotes and stuff like that. So I may just do another video on strictly books so I can stay focused and aligned with the topic of today. So yeah, all the books that I read were beautiful. We Should All Be Billionaires. All the ladies watching this, even men, but the ladies, especially Black women, read that book. Okay, read. We Should All Be Billionaires. If you are not, I don't even want to say struggling, but if you feel like you are still in a mode of hyper independency, or feeling like you are scared of wealth because you may, do the wrong things, or you just scared to shine your light in certain ways because it's that fear, or you just need motivation to become a billionaire, start there. You want motivation to become a billionaire and why it's important for you to come into the big bucks, read that book, because you'll be surprised on how much women do for society. But it's also not surprising. Okay, but now let's talk about the rituals I tried and I now do. Okay, I have been aligning with I have rebooted my whole life. I have realigned myself to my natural flow and the four cycle. I don't know if all women know that there's four phases of the womb cycle besides the menstrual phase and the ovulation phase, but there are actually four, and I have aligned my life with these four phases. When menstrual time, my menstrual phase come, I'm relaxing, I'm taking time for me, I'm chilling, I'm sleeping more, being really softer on my body. My follicular phase, I'm up, I'm booming, doing more workouts, dancing more, going on more runs, eating different things, trying new skin products because my face and my skin is tougher, my hormones is built back up, like I've really aligned it with my womb. And I can tell you that it has made a big difference for me, especially as someone who actually had my menstrual phase used to be so painful to the point where I couldn't walk. Like my sciatic nerve used to, like, I can't even explain it, but I had to walk with a cane, y'all. And that was so scary for me. I knew something had to change. And we don't really learn, we don't learn about the women's body and how it's really connected to the moon. And when you realize that the womb and the moon, they both have the four phases and they both have its cycles, it's all connected. And I just know it's so important for me to share my testimony because I know I'm not the only woman that do this. I haven't found any more other. I don't want to say found, but I haven't aligned with any other women yet. But I have been seeing more women talk about womb care and stuff like that. So it's beautiful that I'm starting to align because it's like, yes, now I feel like now with me talking about it and sharing my process, sharing my journey, will keep lighting flames in other people, because I didn't see any of this stuff on my FYP or my explore page a year ago. But then when I think about it, it's just like, well, the things I was doing a year ago isn't what I was doing this year. And I'm major gratitude to that. Last year was I was really like pushing myself so hard. I put a lot of pressure on myself. And I had to take a step back. And October last year, I had like this breakthrough. And it was one of those points in my life where I was just like, no, I can't do this anymore. Like, but it was like internal. It was just like, what it's like, I'm doing everything. I'm going to the gym, I'm meal prepping, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm working out, I'm going to school, I'm doing hair, I'm doing the content, I'm doing everything. And it just felt like I was taking blow after blow after blow. The car getting stolen, a dude pulled his gun out on me and my little bro, my brother-in-law, and it was just so much happening around me that I started to realize, like, okay, girl, you are doing work, you're doing a lot of healing and shit, but your environment is not feeding you, and your consumption is really not feeding you, down to the friends, down to the explore page, down to um what I was eating, what I was drinking. I really had to just switch my life. And it wasn't an external shift that more so was the problem. It was the internal shift. I had to let a lot go, and that's what I was holding on to. So I've been I have my daily anchors now where I meditate. I meditate daily. I go on my daily wellness walks. I have my tea or my lemon water, or something that's going to revitalize and replenish my body. I'm drinking water. I drink every now and again, but liquor wasn't really a problem for me last year. But I did notice that with me drinking less, my body feels different. My body is able to process. And when I do drink, it's more intentional. And I enjoy that. Like, it's like I enjoy it more. A lot of things that I did before, I enjoy them 10 times more, that, I'm out of my head and I'm in the present. So I listen to my affirmations on my podcast every rising. I actually have October affirmations dropping today, because it's Wednesday. But yeah, all last month I listened to my affirmations, and that really, I don't know, rebooted my nervous system. And before that, I would just listen to, affirmations on YouTube, or I'll record my own affirmations on my voice memos and listen to those. And so I really, shifted my life to work for me. And I stopped looking at life as if it was happening to me and became life itself. We are everything. So everything is also us. And we even have daily cleaning rituals. So like on Monday, we clean the kitchen and creative space. Tuesday, living room and porch, so everything not overwhelmed, and I don't feel like I have to do everything all the time. And that has really been working for me. My healing journey and the shadow work just from this third quarter were immaculate. So much realization, so many deep realizations, so many hard truths, but it wasn't hard as if like they were impossible, but it was one of those things where you have to really, really stand 10 toes down in what you believe, in the things that you have been saying, in the things that you have been passing on. And I feel like God has been putting me in that position to be, real with myself. And I've been looking at everything around me as a mirror as it is. And it's led me to the point where I've learned to detach in the most healthiest way. And I'm seeing things for what they are. And it's like kind of scary in a sense, because it's just like, dang, when you realize a lot of the things that you were doing, and you were doing and you were forcing, it was all out of survival mode. A lot of things that you created, or a lot of relationships that you started or ended, it was all out of survival mode. And saying that, okay, I get it and I see it and I know that this cycle is over, was really big for me in this third quarter. Grieving and really letting go of the parts of me that no longer were welcome, and doing it with grace, letting the old me know and the past versions of me know, like, I love you. You led me here. You are the reason that I am here now, and I appreciate you. But baby, it's time to let go, and it's time to elevate. And I'm getting goosebumps. And that's what my third quarter was. I planted so many seeds. I got so many different opportunities. And when I say opportunities, I mean opportunities to just be meditating and doing yoga on the rooftop, like beautiful, going on walks, finding a park, not even finding, but aligning with a park in a neighborhood that we couldn't even find on the map. I'm just walking and talking and sharing, things that I even talked about on TikTok. And I stumbled upon the park that someone was telling us about that we could never find on the map. So really just being and vibing and learning that I'm a whole frequency, baby. Like, I'm not a vibe you can catch. I am the frequency. We are all frequencies, and we got to realize that we carry the weight, we carry the power. And that's what third quarter woke me up to. And that's why I'm ready for this harvest season. I'm so excited and I'm so grateful and humble. And that's why it's important for me to share, baby. So let's get into Act 2. Alignment and expansion, honey. All right, so we're gonna talk about the collabs, because the collabs were collabing. I had so much fun. I had so many opportunities that showed up when they just needed to, and so much clarity even in those opportunities. I was in music videos. I was in clothing brand shoots. I was in photo shoots. I did so much. I did so much. I created my own photo shoots at the home. I created at the house, created my own looks, tried new looks. Like, it was such a beautiful third quarter. So many seeds planted, so many opportunities showed up at my doorstep. And the reason I'm saying that is because we are the key. I've learned that I am the key to everything. Nothing will ever pass me by. And when everything is for you, will be for you, you are the key. There is nothing that you have to force, right? So I really can say that this summer I aligned. Y'all, guess what? I ran out of storage, so I'm gonna do what I can, and I'm just gonna do a voiceover and with share a beautiful compilation of everything I did over the past 3 months in this third quarter as we proceed in the video. But the next thing I wanted to talk
Just
about,
look at their laces. You know careers take off, just gotta be patient. Mr. 1 through 5, that's the only logic. Fake my death, go to Cuba.
even though I get, I come across opportunity, I don't have to jump, skip, hop, and try to get everyone. I was working with a celebrity, and things didn't go the way I expected them to, but I learned so much. I learned how to speak up for myself, and that was the biggest thing there was. That was a really big breakthrough for me. Because I was so used to sacrificing my peace, sacrificing my core, my morals and my values for the sake of, money, and just feeling like if peace was what I had to offer to get the money that I needed, I was going to do that. And it just didn't sit right with me to do that. Like, it just didn't make sense to keep myself in that cycle. So I spoke up, and clearly I'm not working with them no more. So it is what it is, but it was what I needed to do. And I didn't do it in like no crazy way or cuss nobody out. I did it with grace and love, and that's what really made me happy. Because I feel like a lot of the times people feel like, when you are having a conversation, or you're letting someone know how you feel about something, or you're setting boundaries, a lot of people don't know how to translate it. And that was something that I learned how to do, because I'm sensitive. I'm sensitive, and it makes sense on why I'm sensitive. And I always try to handle things delicately. I never really want to be one to hurt people's feelings. Now, I ain't saying that I always been nice. I don't even really think there's such thing as nice. I think you just you, and you have your moments, and most of the time I'm spreading love and light, but I just be trying to tell you don't get shit twisted. But yeah, I learned so much. I learned how to speak up for myself, and that was even towards the end of September, I had to reevaluate and really sit on, a contract that I signed for a show, because I realized, it didn't align. And it wasn't, I don't want to say there was any conflict, but I can tell that there was something going on that I really didn't know about, because my shoot dates got pushed back and I didn't really get an update. But that's not why, I pulled out. I just wanted to show the contrast of how sometimes when stuff is delayed, that is for you to really take time to reevaluate and allow yourself to be redirected. And that's what I did. After looking, checking my emails every day to see if I got any updates or anything, I realized, like, hey, maybe it's a deeper message. And I asked for clarity, and I got the clarity. And it was simply the role that I was going to be playing no longer aligned with me. I love the artistry. I love the creativity. And I was appreciated to be, chosen, because I actually got that opportunity while at a video shoot for a visual. And like I said, alignment is beautiful. And in that moment, of course, I'm excited. Things have been slow lately, so I felt like it was an opportunity for me, and I took it. And after reading over the script and practicing, I'm just like, actually, I don't know. And like I said, I asked God for clarity, and I realized that was a version of me that I had just put to rest. And for me, everything is spiritual, especially art and creativity. And I do everything with soul. So when I'm going to be acting and, embodying these characters, bringing them to life as the creator will want me to, I knew I didn't want to play that role. And I knew that that was the time where I had to choose my values. And that's why it was important for me to have core values. I know what message I want to push across, and I know what frequency I vibrate at. You know what I mean? And while the message is beautiful, while the character is structured beautifully, it's just a part of me that didn't align with that type of character anymore. And I'm excited to be able to watch from the sidelines and cheer everybody on the cast on. and realize like I don't have to be a part of everything. Like you don't have to take every opportunity just because you're scared. You know, when opportunities come to you, I really learned to like take a step back and ask myself, is this something that I want to do or I feel like I have to do out of survival? You know, am I doing this with intention or am I just taking this because I feel like I ain't got nothing else to do? You know what I mean? And that was a really big thing I learned third quarter. Like doing the things that I want to, doing things that align with me, and not trying to keep my schedule busy just to say I did stuff, but do things that are meaningful to me as well and something that aligns with me and that I don't mind sharing and carrying out and promoting and stuff like that. So I'm grateful for the clarity and the guidance and the ability to see all, you know, the signs clearly as they were in front of me for everything that I have aligned with this third quarter, because I really learned how to stay grounded in self, and that was really important for me, and learning how to detach from everything, because we'll be asking God for stuff, we'll be asking the universe for stuff, we'll be asking whomever your highest power is, or whatever you the highest power you align with. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Anywho, yeah. So I really had to learn to detach, y'all. Like I am a holder oner. Okay. I will hold on. Well, I used to hold on until like it hurt. Until I got hurt enough to let stuff go, or till, you know, things in life started getting difficult enough for me to pay attention. And I learned like that's not a life that aligns with me. I don't want to have to learn the hard way, and I don't have to learn the hard way, especially when I have my intuition and my discernment. And so I've really been leaning on that, trusting myself, trusting every step is divinely guided, and walking and showing up as it is divinely guided. And that's just that. Everything else I send to God. Everything else is surrendered to God. And I'm excited, you know, to share everything that I've learned and everything, all my testimonies. And I'm excited to do it in the ways I want to do it, you know, do it in experiences. So it's evergreen, not just tell people, but allow it to be an experience in different ways. And I have really been working on myself internally. So I had to detach from the 3D. I had to detach from what I was seeing, because it was so much that I was distracted by with my two eyes. I had to close them and tap into my third eye. Um, because everything was a reflection. You know, everything's a reflection of you. And I chose to see what I chose to see. And that was even when it came from to people, when it came to shows, music, and it got my attention. And I did a lot of reflecting this third quarter. A lot of seeds were planted. And I'm so grateful for every opportunity that I had. um, I was grateful to be able to have time to read the books that I did, or watch movies that I wanted to watch too, and stay connected to my inner child. Like that was really, really a highlight for me this third quarter. And being able to take care of my body was, oh, I started my holistic journey last year, and I got deeper into it, of course, this third quarter like never before. I started a 69 days in flow. I don't want to call it a challenge, but it was an alignment, and I journaled every day while keeping track of like my womb phase and the moon cycle, how I felt, my emotions, my creativity, like what did I notice as far as like any pain or any flutters or anything, like really just tuned into my body. And I even, after I had already wanted to make a journal last year, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to wait. And I'm happy I did wait, because now all the research I've done, and even just getting in that flow myself and realigning with my natural essence was life changing, man. I went from being in so much pain with endometriosis, walking with a cane, legs going numb, to now I'm barely having cramps. And when I do have cramps, I just feel them as messages that my body is trying to just tell me. I don't look at it as pain for punishment. I look at it as pain for divine messages. So really switching and shifting your view on your menstrual cycle is so important, and learning the different four phases that there are, and not just the menstrual phase and the ovulation phase, was a big thing. I feel like we are taught, well, and it's not even intentionally, but that don't make it any better, but we are taught not to favor our period, to hate our period. It's like we feel like it's a punishment. We're taught that it's a punishment, and it's really not a punishment. And I had to do a lot of deep diving and learn the history and the ancestral power and the spirituality behind our womb in the first place. So learning that and being able to take what I learned and put it in a book so I can, share this process and get other women to see the beauty in their natural flow and their divinity is so important to me. Like, I want every woman to know that they are beautiful, they are powerful, and this is all naturally and internally. Like, it don't matter what you look like on the outside, because you always gonna try to find something that can be better. But internally, baby, you must know you are everything, and that will reflect on the outside. And getting in touch with your femininity and learning your womb and your emotions and connecting to the moon will really, really, really offer you a breakthrough like no other. So I'm excited to share more about, my digital product, which I will be in Act 4, flowing into fourth quarter. Okay, y'all. So my mindset and my intentions for fourth quarter is really to be and live and experience, the abundance and peace, travel, staying in flow and alignment, learning what consistency means for me. I want to go out the country. Well, not I want, but planning trips out the country and in the country, in the States, and day trips and weekend trips, finding new waterfalls and hikes and creative events to stay connected to the community, and really just flowing over forest. Like I said, like taking everything that I learned from third quarter and allowing myself to bloom through that, staying consistent and staying grounded in my daily anchors, staying grounded in my own flow, continuing my rituals and doing what I can and allowing God to do the rest. I have so many plans for, music and choreo, creative directing, short films, cinematic films, digital products, and all types of stuff. I am so proud of myself for, posting one long video a week, and I can get better at shorts. But like I said, I'm growing, baby. I just have to remember to post the shorts, because it ain't that I don't have them ready and edited. I be forgetting to post them on YouTube, but now that I know I can schedule them, that should be no problem heading into this fourth quarter. So I'm excited. I'm so grateful, and I feel like my 69 days in flow really helped me see that I have more control than I think I do, especially with my body. I have more power than I was taught to believe I have. And with that, it shifted. Like, when I tell you, I really feel like I recoded my whole DNA. Like, when I've been talking about legacy and wealth, like, this is a big part of it. Recoding the DNA, unlearning so you can learn the things that are meant for you, rather than keeping the things that you were taught to keep you in a box. And so it's just so beautiful to be here, like, and be present, because my military career, getting out was scary for me, especially being diagnosed with different things. I didn't know what was going to happen to me, y'all. I barely made it out the military. My suicidal ideation was really bad. But I got through it. And so it is like every day I don't want to just tell God I'm grateful. I want to show it. Like everything I do is an offering to the Most High and its ancestral veneration, paving the way for the people that's coming after me, the people that's here with me, knowing that I am just a vessel of divinity. Like I'm a vessel for God to shine through me. So of course I'm going to show up. Of course I'm going to keep going. And with YouTube, I know more videos are to come, especially with me now having my assistant, my creative virtual assistant. And she will actually be here next week. So I'm so excited to see her. Haven't seen her since high school because we actually went to high school together. So it's just so funny how, you know, alignment really be there when you just be. You always if you can be, you'll find the steps. You'll realize that every step you are taking is already divinely guided, and you'll stop trying to look for the right answers and just flow. And I will be restarting The Artist's Way. I was reading it before. For those of you who have been watching my videos for a while now, I did start The Artist's Way a while back, last year, and I stopped after we moved. I stopped on chapter 9, and I actually really knew, it's like one of those things. I knew I had reached a point where I'm just like, okay, I didn't have enough room for it. There was other things that I needed to figure out, and I'm an all or nothing type of gal. So I was just like, you know what, we're just going to come back to this. And I didn't expect to be gone from the book this long to where I would want to start over. But I'm happy to start over. Like it's nothing. Um, I just feel like I'm gonna get to soak up all this beautiful information again with fresh pair of eyes, fresh heart, you know, with everything renewed, in this in this new state of mind, you know, in this new chapter, this new timeline of my life. So I'm excited to restart The Artist's Way. I'm not sure what day I'm gonna start yet. Maybe on Sunday, maybe on Saturday. We're gonna see. But I'm really excited to get back into it. Because everything I had done up until chapter 9 was beautiful. Like every morning page was beautiful. I still write every day. I was already journaling every day before then. So it's just like I said, you have your daily anchors and you have things that are already come natural and flow. It's all going to align the way it needs to align. So I have a lot of filming that I'll be doing, a lot of trips. I plan to, you know, get the Womb and Moon's Sync journal out pretty soon. I'm actually done with it. There's just some things that I want to do before I release that. So yeah, I'm excited. And I also have different events that I actually want to try to plan, you know, even if it's not just here in Atlanta, if I'm traveling, I really want to plan some events. And I'm really excited to put some more music out, put some more of my poetry out, and just create everything, create without any limits, try new different hairstyles, paint my face. Like, I'm just so excited to be alive. I'm so grateful to be here. And like I said, I'm not going to just talk about how grateful I am. I'm going to show that. In a way to show that is to share and really allow people into my world, or really allow my testimony to be heard, and show everyone that we are all different, and we can all shine together. We are all stars. We were all born stars. We all just finding our way, and doing what's best for you sometimes may not be exactly what you want to do, but it'll always be in your best interest. So detaching, if you haven't watched the law of detachment video yet, I would really recommend it. Um, Especially if you are a woman who is, you know, still have some challenges with bending boundaries or saying no, or feeling like everything is going to end if you take care of yourself or put yourself first. Like, I really want y'all to go watch that video. But other than that, peace, love, and light always to you all. It is your girl, Sister Soul, with 2 L's. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are excited for the fourth quarter, because I definitely am. And I'm so excited for all that is to come, all that I have planned. I'm ready to see this come out and manifest into the 3D. And yeah, just remember to always be. You don't have to do anything else but be. Be who you are, okay? And I'm out.
A soul-led creative, living a life of art, spreading love in alignment with the stars, sister soul. Cosmic euphoric goddess, sister soul. Cosmic euphoric goddess, we're all stars, finding our way, documenting my journey each and every day, sister soul. Cosmic euphoric goddess, sister soul. Cosmic euphoric goddess.